A very good evening to all the participants, all the faculty members, and all the guests who have joined this session. Before we deep dive into this new FDP, Faculty Development Program, before we start with this event, the launch of this event, I would request all the faculty members and all the participants to please roll across the joining link in your group so that all who are yet to join can be a part of the session. We will be starting by 3 p.m. The tentative time, the scheduled time is 3 p.m. We'll be starting by that. I request all the participants to please send across the reminder message in your respective college group so that faculties who are yet to join can join. And apart from this, one more quick announcement. The moment we are houseful on this Zoom link, we also have provision. We are live on YouTube Live as well. So once the Zoom link participant count is reached to maximum capacity, anyone who is joining or who are finding it difficult to join through the Zoom link can be a part of this session via the YouTube Live. Thank you. Chandana, if you can quickly please post the joining link in the chat box so that the participants can share it eventually in their personal group.
Yes, sir, we are sharing it.
Yeah, thank you. We are expecting more participants to be a part of this session. So we have extended the time. We will be starting by 3:05. Uh, just after 3 minutes, we will be starting sharp at 3:05. In the meantime, I request all the participants to please send across the joining link in your college group so that all the faculties who are yet to join can be a part of the session. Amarji, we have almost reached close to 500 participants. So, with your permission, if we can go ahead with the launch of this event.
Yeah, Shiraz. Let's go ahead.
Yep. All right. So, good afternoon, one and all the participants and distinguished guests who are a part of this session. My name is Siraj. I'm the senior manager, taking care of the institutional vertical. And with us, we have Amit Sahaji, who is the associate director, prominent and a distinguished and a torchbearer associate director that we have under ExcelR. From the backend, we have Chandana and Susmita and Pravalika, who's taking care of the backend activities and the collaboration part. Right. So I hand over the session to Amitji to please take it forward and host the session for the day. Thank you. Over to
Thank
you,
you so
Amit.
much, Shiraz. Thank you so much, Shiraz. And first of all, I would start off the session by thanking all the eminent guests from the academia, specifically the guests and the invited speakers from the institutions across the country who are collaborating with us for this particular event of cloud architect and the implementation of cloud in the different industries. Uh, Also, great work done by our team to reach out to more than 1,500 of our uh, associate institutions who had always been the strength of pillar to ExcelR for introducing these programs and as well as consistently being able to conduct such programs. Before I uh, invite the guests to share their thoughts with reference to this particular topic and as well as related to their particular institution's participation. I would just like to take a few minutes in getting the ball rolling with a certain bit of background information related to ExcelR and our initiatives. So, just a quick confirmation, Shiraz, if whether my screen is visible.
Yes, Amit.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, I think like every time that we conduct a faculty development program or a student development program, we always have ensured that we pick up the topics which are having the maximum amount of relevance and as well as with kind of deliverable components with which the academia and the students can resonate with. And probably that is the reason why successfully we have been able to conduct this over a period of more than 2 years consistently every month. So as throughout our entire journey of last 12 years, we had always looked forward being the strategic partner of the higher education institutions, the colleges and the universities, create the right bridge from the classroom to corporate success for the students and as well as their mentors, that is the faculty members in the particular in those higher education institutions. A very quick glimpse of the journey, which started off as like many other organic structures that we started off were pretty much small in the year December, in the year 2013, in the month of December, out of two locations, Bangalore and Hyderabad, and with only three courses, which in due course has transformed into the organization reaching to the heights of having close to around 70 plus courses going live on today's date, hosted in this particular platform of ours on multiple platforms, that is online, offline, hybrid model, and so on. And having a workforce going strong with 450 plus. In between, like in 2016-17, when we had our one of the major breakthroughs of launching data science and artificial intelligence courses, and also we could set up the corporate vertical. And then in 2018, we started our Pune office, and that was the first year when we were also awarded by Deloitte as the fastest 50 growing tech companies. Subsequently, in the year 2022, as well. The second time we were awarded by Deloitte with the same recognition, that is amongst the top 50 fastest growing technology-enabled companies. Uh, 2022 also marks as a significant, it has got a significance with setting up our institutional alliances vertical, which, as an associate director, I am heading on today's date. In between, we launched our Pune center, our Mumbai center, and also started our operations in Chennai. And very soon, we are looking forward for expanding our physical bases to uh, Delhi and a couple of other locations across the country. So, if I look at the overall structure of our operations, yes, we started off initially with catering to the corporates for the upskilling of their existing workforce, and naturally, whatever the ideas we could get, the insights we could receive, based on that, we took it through to the institutions or the higher education institutions. And ultimately, in both the categories, what our ultimate aim was basically to satisfy or support the individuals, learners who are looking forward for their enhancement or their upskilling requirements. So, it's ExcelR is an initiative of few of the professionals with coming in with an IIM and ISP background, and we have our global headquarters at US. And through the everyday learning platform, we on current date cater to almost close to around 5 lakh plus learners, right from the freshers who are still in their college, graduating youths, and as well as the working professionals at different stage of their career who are looking forward for the professional upliftment or the upskilling to stay connected and stay relevant in their workplace. So overall, if you can see on the screen, this is a kind of our global footprint, clients spread across the world. Through the corporate team, we cater to these clients across in pretty much wide spectrum of locations spread globally. As far as our physical presence is concerned, I am just again reiterating that Bangalore being our Indian headquarters, where at BTM stage one we are having our head office. We also have a second center at Marakali. Other than that, two locations each from where we are operating in Mumbai and Pune. And apart from, we are also operating from Hyderabad and Chennai. In the course of our development, course of our growth, we have also been able to get into strong bonding of formal associations with some of the premium bodies on the skilling end. Nationally, we are one of the premium partners of IHub Divya Sampark, which is a joint initiative of IIT Roorkee and DST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. In the state of AP, we work very, very closely with AP State Skill Development Corporation and ACSHE, the AP Skill Council for Higher Education. We are partnering in Telangana with TASK, Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge, and in Karnataka with KMDC, Karnataka Minorities Development Corporation. Few of the other associations are also about to get formalized and will be added to this list. In the academic front, some of the best-known institutions nationally and as well as globally, uh, as we know, some of the temple of education, that is IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, IIT Bombay, and BITS Pilani are campuses which we have frequented and have formal associations with these campuses, I just mentioned. We are also one of the pretty old and strong members of NASSCOM Future Skills Prime initiative, which is an initiative of MIT and NASSCOM together for their digital skilling initiatives, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. In the course of our work, we also got due recognition from Deloitte, which I have already mentioned about, as well as our work has been appreciated by IIT Roorkee, APSSDC, Silicon India, Analytics India, and so on. Coming to the footprint that we have been able to spread and the quality we have been able to maintain is uh, strengthened by the fact that close to around 50,000 plus faculty members are today part of our faculty development program, regularly getting themselves enabled and skilled through the everyday learning platform. And more than 5.5 lakh students, uh, 5.5 million students across the country are part of our everyday learning initiative. And this has only been possible by the through the strength of the association that we have with more than 1,500 plus academic partners, the higher education institutions spread across the country. This number is growing very fast. We are again started exhaustively initiating our formal MOUs with many of the institutions across the country. Any one of uh, our today's participants, by any chance, if we are not having any formal association with your institution, please do reach out to us, and we will ensure that our team will get in touch with you, and they'll try to formally get into the closure of our formal non-commercial MOU as well for the everyday learning programs for student development and faculty development, and as well as student orientation sessions that are conducted throughout the year, every month. In fact, we have primarily shortlisted close to around 30 plus technologies based on which we are conducting our SDP and FDP programs. Everyday learning, a term pretty much common to most of you who are participating in today's event, and maybe comparatively new to some of you who might be uh, participating in this particular event for the first time, in short called as EDL. So the idea primarily of the everyday learning or the non-commercial MOU with these colleges or universities are very clear and simple. We conduct free trainings on the emerging technologies, on the disruptive technologies, uh, for the students and as the faculty. The student development programs of ours are typically spread across a period of around 30 hours to 40 hours, which is approximately around 3 weeks' time. The timing is prefixed, that is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. And same for the faculty, we did do a faculty development program structure of around 10 hours. Each session is of 2 hours, so it is spread over a period of 5 hours, 5 days, and by this way, by keeping these milestones very achievable and visible, we get a very strong, lineage towards people completing the program. We have an experience whereby close to around 15 to 20% of the people who registers for this program ultimately completes this program in spite of this being free. And with the conditions, preconditions laid out there that with 60% of attendance, they get a certificate of participation. So overall, we have seen till date close to around 15% plus participants completing the program end to end. Uh, Other than that, any college specific or department specific on any particular topic, we need, if anybody, any college are interested, we can conduct separate SOS, student orientation sessions on specific topics. From bringing in the industry expert or the subject matter expert, and we can conduct a career guidance session. Uh, Overall, all these, whatever we just mentioned, is conducted through a live online format, which is accessible by the learners through the robust LMS access, which is provided to the learner and is available to the learner for 365 days throughout. So that's close to around 1 year access that the learners will be able to get provided. Uh, I mean, there is a link given out here, but overall, I think everybody today, by today, they have already received the LMS access. And anyway, after my session, our team will ensure to provide you with an LMS KT or a walkthrough. We are also recently trying to make people aware about the project-based learning. We have tied association with NASCOM Future Skills Prime, and we are trying to promote all across one of the very, very important and crucial elements of the learning journey of a student during the college tenure. That is how they can enhance their skill set through the experiential project-based learning initiative. This is a review of typical, SDP and the student development program and the faculty development program initiatives that we have been doing. So every month we are conducting close to two student development programs and at least bare minimum one faculty development program. It might be actually in reality it is actually more than one. Still, minimum bare minimum one faculty development program we are conducting every month. A few very quick insights into what kind of activities we have done in the student development and the faculty development programs. These are the set of 10 programs which are more highly appreciated by the participants, starting from data structure and algorithms for the campus placements to chat GPT, Salesforce developer program that we have launched through the SDP programs, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and even the coding related topics like cracking coding interviews and full stack development. And as well as I mentioned about the upcoming program that is about how one can look forward for preparing themselves to achieve a 10 lakh per annum kind of a job. So till date, we have delivered almost 39 for student development programs, uh, through which we have delivered almost close to around 1100 plus hours of live online learning free of cost. And that's how close to around more than 5 million students are regularly accessing these programs live or through the LMS and deferred on the online versions. And close to around 1490 colleges nationally are part of this particular initiative. And FDP category, there is a faculty development category. In AI and Gen AI, we have seen a very great, aggressive amount of traction or interest amongst the faculty members. Other than that, digital marketing, data analytics, and data science related programs has been primarily, say, shown more interest amongst the faculty members. So till date, we had delivered close to around 33 plus. This is the 34th program that we are launching for the faculty development programs, and we have delivered close to around 400 hours of live learning for in the faculty development program, and that's how 50,000 plus faculty members are engaged through this particular platform. Some of our recent projects that we have delivered an FDP program on full stack development for faculty members of IIT Bombay from the ASC department, as you see, Professor Manohar, who is launching the program on the day one. And we had a almost 70 hours exhaustive program so that all the 15-member faculty nominated by IIT Bombay can get aligned to the Industry 4.0 and the recent developments with reference to the full stack development usage. We had Mr. Shambashiva Rao, one of our senior industry resource person who had delivered this particular program in an offline plus online version, a true sense and hybrid model, and each of them completed with a project working on an industry project because they were trying to hire close to around 100 interns to work on certain Government of India Ministry of Defense projects in due course. IIT Roorkee, we had conducted exhaustive workshops on time series analysis and predictive analytics using statistics and machine learning on an analytics tool called Minitab. We had the resource person, Mr. From the principal data scientist from Accenture, Akash Pushkar, who was the resource person, and it was conducted in the IIT Roorkee campus for 3 exhaustive days, encompassing almost close to around 24 to 26 hours. Uh, and it was hands-on learning that was provided to the 83 research scholars pulled in from various departments. BITS Pilani Hyderabad, we have been a regular visitor out there. We have been conducting programs on Power BI, machine learning, and different other data analytics tool. Participated by not only the engineering but as well as non-engineering students. This is a felicitation program we held some time back, where close to around 450 students participated in this particular program. These programs are typically between 30 to 40 hours duration. Recently, we have collaborated with IIT Madras Pravartak, and we are currently delivering a certification program on data science and artificial intelligence in association with IIT Madras, co-created and co-delivered in association with IIT Madras. During the early phase of 2024, we slightly expanded our wings from purely technical to a comparatively non-technical, because we found that colleges were primarily the tier 2 and tier 3 location colleges were facing a challenge with reference to majority of the students in their final years before going in for their during the going in for the placement drives. 90% of them were getting eliminated before they come in front of an interview situation, and that was into the aptitude test. So that's why we created a program of more than 200 hours, covering areas of quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, soft skills, and as well as enabled the students with the techniques of acing group discussion and personal interviews. Added on to it, topping up with it with resume builder and LinkedIn profiling tools learning, and we named it as Skill of Final Years. Primarily, it was targeted for final years, and we saw close to around 60,000 students registering for this particular program across India. And to our, great happiness, that we saw that close to around 5,200 students completed the entire program over a period of 3 months. And finally, they were awarded with a joint certification with IIT Roorkee. We didn't stop there. We also conducted the final aptitude test or selection test of them. And then on the shortlisted candidates, right now our placement team is in the process of assisting them with placement opportunities. Projects and internships is one area which probably everyone attend being a part of this particular session will agree to the fact that are very, very crucial, but unfortunately being neglected by majority of the students when they are in their formative years in the college. So seeing this void, and at the same time when NASCOM came up with great level of persuasion with us that we should get into their being a part of their digital learning initiatives for experiential project-based learning plan. And based on that, we initiated a program. So we started off with the short-term internships with government department of Andhra Pradesh. That is the APSHE, AP Skill Council for Higher Education. We launched a program on short-term internships with on 22 tracks, independent of the uh, engineering or non-engineering. So altogether, close to around 215 plus colleges participated in this initiative of ours, and we got close, approximately around 18,000 plus students or learners who joined this particular program. And this program was spread over anything between 3 to 4 months, and we could see a great amount of engagement of the students. So with that confidence in place, we are currently on the verge of launching the long-term internships as well, uh, primarily as industry mentor-based projects and internships guidance with a follow-up on placement assistance. Our individual teams, whoever is interested, we can get in touch with us, and our teams will give you the complete idea. Overall, we have already catered to 1 lakh plus students in these projects and internships. We have I mean, we have really gone deep and created more than 20 plus technology tracks based this internship program, which is spread across 16 to 20 weeks, uh, starting from self-learning to the mentor-based guidance, uh, giving them the idea about the identification of problem statements, working on them, referring to reference materials, and then primarily completing with a final assessment. And this entire thing will be hosted in the LMS, so which they get an access of around 365 days. That is 1 full year. Other than that, the just now the CRT program just I mentioned, that is also becomes a part and parcel of something which the students can avail. They can also avail another 5 different certifications in a self-learning model, self-paced model from through the LMS. They will also be given the guidance on creating the GitHub account and as well as uploading and maintaining their project portfolio in the GitHub so that it is easily demonstrable in front of a prospective recruiter, adding it up with LinkedIn profiling and resume building. And finally, we will take them into placement assistance. Icing on the cake is these program that we are doing, they can get the certificate of internship in association with NASCOM. So it can be a joint certificate provided by ExcelR in association with NASCOM. these are the different 24 tracks that we have finalized. In details, our team will get back to you. I don't want to make people wait on this particular platform because I'm moving on to it. So the program of initiative internship starts off with the problem statement at identification, and then guidance, and then the content that will be provided with to them live and in a live online and the self-paced model. They will work on the real case industry use cases scenarios, and finally they will complete their certification. And following that, we will take them through the campus drive initiative. This is the typical demo of the certificate they will be able to achieve once they complete this internship program. A few of the learners who has been very happy regarding the short-term internships, they had already written back to us, and we hope that we will be able to engage with your colleges also within the next couple of months. November, December, we are looking forward to engage with your students as well. There's a typical dashboard of the LMS that we provide to the students and as well as the faculty members. My colleagues from the training and delivery management team will give you an update on that very soon, today after some time. So on that note, we carry on with the base that we have created, the kind of ecosystem that we have created, and the kind of assets that we have created. We want the entire academic fraternity, students, faculty members, college managements, they take the maximum benefit out of it. And as a part of that particular initiative, we keep on conducting these FDP programs. And like today, we are starting off with the cloud architect program. And I'm really privileged now to welcome on stage some of the dignified guests, the eminent guests from our collaborating institutions. Uh, to begin with, I would like to invite Dr. P.C. Krishnamachari, professor in mechanical engineering and also the principal of JBIET. In short, we normally know that is JB Institute of Engineering and Technology. Dr. Krishnamachari is a PhD holder in mechanical engineering from SV University and has over more than 51 publications and 6 patents, and also is a member of ISTE, FIESC, and different such eminent bodies and their respective chapters. His primary areas of interest and expertise are into intelligent CAD/CAM, robotics, and advanced manufacturing systems. As a seasoned researcher, he focuses on innovation in turbines, welding, and design experiments. Sir, we are really elated that you had taken out time from your busy schedule and agreed to be a part of the curtain raiser ceremony of today's FDP program. So, a warm thanks on that to you. And I would request you to share your thoughts with reference to the ExcelR association, and as well as the kind of initiatives that is being taken up by JBIET on based on the future skills requirement of the students. Over to you, Professor Krishnamachari, sir.
Yeah,
Please.
thank you, Amit ji. Distinguished guests, esteemed resource persons, respected faculty members, and my dear participants, and team of ExcelR, in particular, Amit ji, Siraj, and Miss Pravalika, and all other team. So very good afternoon to all of you. We have almost more than 812 participants. So participating all the one, I extend a hearty warm welcome to all of you. This faculty development program on cloud architect. So from 18 to 22nd, almost every day for 2 hours from 3 to 5 p.m. Really have to thank the ExcelR team for organizing these events. I've gone through all your profile. Really, you are doing very good work, and being proud of you having proud an MOU. So coming to this event, it's a significant step in equipping all our selves, all faculty, all this one, the particularly in tools and knowledge needed to stay ahead in our overall digital world. As all of you know that cloud architecture, or can say cloud company, is no longer a technological buzzword. It is a transformational force redefining how industries operate, innovate, and grow. So, with the rise of AI, IoT, and big data analytics, understanding cloud architect is a vital for educators. So, particularly educators, research and research and professionals alike. And also, you have to note that cloud architect is also no longer confined to the IT industry, and but has permeated to every sector, including education, healthcare, and banking and manufacturing. As educators, it is our prime responsibility to stay updated and bring the best of this knowledge and into our classrooms to inspire and prepare our students for the future. Through this faculty development program, almost this 10 hours, you can say total duration, will aim to build a robust, can say that, foundation to this particular this domain, enabling to our potential and in our academic pursuits and professional ventures, I can say that. So definitely I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the resource persons and experts, and in particular the organizers who have come all together to make this FDP possible. And also, I congratulate all the participants, more than 821 plus more than there, all the participants for taking this initiative to upskill, yeah, themselves. So definitely, I will have to congratulate your enthusiasm and have to say that. So your the spirit of lifelong learning, that is also have to appreciate and defend as educators. So over the next few days, every day, so you have I encourage you to participate, actively participate and engage, and so try to learn new things that I wanted to. Uh, I'm expecting from all of you. Let us start this journey with an open mind and trust for learning. So thank you, and I wish you all insightful and productive FDP. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krishnamachari. Uh, Actually, I think you have hit the bullseye saying the pertinent uh, I think the lines that is the spirit of lifelong learning. Uh, I think that's the baby steps that XLR is trying to put forth by at least providing with our whatever minimal support and infrastructure that our initiative can provide on boosting that concept and giving it a shape so that it can be really smoothly achievable. So I mean, hats off to all those faculty members who have been exhaustively using this platform right from the inception about 24 months back when we started off. And that actually gives the boost for my team to consistently come up with the best of the training programs that we can provide consistently. Consistency is something which is a matter of very high consideration for our team right from the beginning. And with such kind of cooperation and as well as support, we will definitely take it to a very high level. That is sure from our end. So oh, I would like to move on to our next guest of today, uh, Dr. K.M. Anil Kumar, who is the Dean of JSS Science and Technology University, Mysore, uh, in Karnataka. Uh, Professor Anil Kumar is a PhD holder from University of Mysore and also completed his postdoc from Deccan University, and he carries with him more than 2.5 decades of experience. He's taking care of the international engagements and rankings, and also a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at JSSIT, shortly commonly known as in Mysore. And he specializes in fostering global collaborations, actively involved in academic excellence and institutional growth, and plays a pivotal role in international outreach and ranking initiative. So I'm sure, sir, you would be able to appreciate highly about the FDP and the SDP initiatives and the lifelong learning, uh, platform that we are trying to bring in from the house of XLR. So, on that note, I would request Dr. Anil Kumar, please share your thoughts on this event and as well as the initiatives of JSSIT in the areas of academic excellence. And overall, what would be your guidance for the participants in the coming days? Over to you, Dr. Anil Kumar, please.
Yeah, very good afternoon. Am I audible?
Absolutely clear and fine, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very good afternoon. Offering my humble pranams to His Holiness Swamiji. I wish to provide a brief information about JSS and JSS Science and Technology University initially, and then I'll be talking about the usefulness of this particular workshop. The Jagadguru Sri Veera Simhasana Mahasamsthana Mata, also known as Sri Suttur Mata, is a respected institution rooted in the principles of social and economic justice. Inspired by these values, JSS Mahavidyapita, also known as JSS MVP, was established in 1954 under the guidance of His Holiness Jagadguru Dr. Sri Shivratri Rajendra Mahaswamiji, with a mission to transform education. Today, JSS manages over 350 institutions, and Sri Jaya Chamarajendra College of Engineering is one such institution, established in 1963, initially affiliated with the University of Mysuru, later joining the Visvesvaraya Technological University in 2002, and gaining autonomy in 2007. Building on SJC's strong reputation, JSS Science and Technology University was established in 2016 as a state-private university dedicated to excellence in science, management, and engineering, fostering innovation and preparing students for global success. JSS Science and Technology University has achieved significant national and international rankings. It holds the NAC accreditation, the NBA accreditation, also been awarded the prestigious diamond rating by QSI Gauge, also is ranked 200 to 300 band in the NIRF ranking. Our alumni hold prominent positions in leading tech companies globally, including Google, Microsoft, IBM. Distinguished alumni have founded successful tech startups and are renowned contributors in the fields such as AI, renewable energy, digital healthcare. Several alumni have been honored with prestigious awards in engineering and technology, both nationally and internationally. We are happy to be jointly organizing this workshop on cloud architecture with ExcelR. We are informed that they are one of the leading providers of professional training and certification programs, specializing in various domains, including digital marketing, data science, AI, ML, and they are known for their practical approach and industry-aligned curriculum. So, dear participants and faculty members, this 5-day faculty development program on cloud architecture, organized in collaboration with ExcelR, JSS Science and Technology University, along with other distinguished institutions, is meticulously designed to enhance your expertise and knowledge in one of the most sought-after areas in the technology today. We call it as cloud computing or cloud architecture. The cloud has gone from being an IT buzzword to becoming a fundamental block for companies, organizations, and individuals worldwide. It is no longer just a tool or service. It is the entire ecosystem that empowers business to innovate faster, scale more efficiently, and deliver value to customers in ways we could not even imagine a decade ago. Cloud computing has evolved significantly over the last decade. We have moved from a simple infrastructure as a service offering to a more sophisticated platforms, providing a comprehensive capabilities, including, as the professor mentioned, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, and so on. This program is not only opportunity for personal and professional growth, but also a chance to collaborate and network with peers across the institutions. So I, on behalf of all the faculty members here, as well as the senior professors, encourage all of them to take full advantage of this joint initiative to broaden the skill set and enhance the teaching methodologies and to stay forefront of the technological advancements. Your active participation will definitely contribute to your success as an educator and a leader in your field. Finally, I want to thank our VC sir, Professor A.N. Santosh Kumar, Registrar Professor Dhanraj, and other universities officers for their support in putting up this particular workshop. I also wish to acknowledge the work and active involvement of the entire team of ExcelR, and also our team members such as Dr. Haraprasad, Dean QAA, and Professor Divya, and all the participants from various institutions and others for making this event happen. Happy learning for the next 5 days. Wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your, uh, fantastic words with reference to the program and your thoughts, and as well as deep insight about the different initiatives and the rich background of JSSIT group as a whole. I mean, we would definitely look forward to associate more strongly on the multiple collaborative activities that we can come up with in near future. On that note, I would like to invite our next guest of today, coming in from the state of Andhra Pradesh, Dr. A. Venkataramana, Professor and Head of the Department of GMR Institute of Technology. Also, I think Ramana will be mentioning details about the university initiatives as well. He's the Professor and Head of the Department of CSE at GMR IT, and he also carries a rich experience of more 2.5 decades and has more than over 30 research publications. He has guided 6 PhD scholars and secured research grants exceeding 50 lakhs from Department of Science and Technology and AICTE. His expertise spans wireless communication, networks, IoT, and machine learning. So, on that note, I would request Dr. Venkataramana to share his thoughts with reference to this particular program and also give us certain insights with the initiatives taken up by GMRIT, and how would you feel that professors of GMRIT and other faculty members can take the maximum value out of this FDP program. Over to you, Dr. Venkataramana.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. So it's a pleasure to invite you all to this 5-day faculty development program organized by ExcelR in association with GMRIT and other reputed academic institutions. So very fortunately, we have an MOU with this ExcelR in the recent past. I thank one of our faculty, Dr. Kanchanmala Madam. She introduced this ExcelR to our institute, and later our principal sir and management accepted the MOU with ExcelR. And today we are organizing a faculty development program in association with ExcelR. Just now, I have gone through the presentation of Mr. Amit about the complete insights of the ExcelR. Really, it is very thankful to the ExcelR for providing a very detailed all the technologies and innovative programs to the outside community. Almost all latest technologies, they have conducted the various workshops and technical talks. So definitely it is a very useful because after post-COVID, we are all habituated to the online learning comparing with the before 2020. So this type of ExcelR has very good EduTech and LMS platform they are having. And coming to the GMR Institute of Technology, it was established in the year 1997 by GMR Group. you might be having knowing the GMR group. It is major in airports like Hyderabad, Samshabad Airport, Delhi Airport, and all Goa and major airports in the national and international airports. So Rajam is a birthplace of Chairman Sri GM Rao, GMR, which is located in Andhra Pradesh near Vishakhapatnam, around 100 kilometers. And ours is an autonomous institution, and this month we'll be happy to share with you that we are applied and inspection also over. We may be announced as a deemed to be university, GMR University. And we are having very good academic practices, and as per our regulations, we are having the full semester internship completely 4 months. All the students are sent to the industries. Last time I interacted with some of the ExcelR officials, but actually we are sending the students to the offline internship. But unfortunately, as of now, you are not offering the offline internships. You are offering only virtual internships. If time permits in future, try to engage with the offline internships also. And coming to the today's topic, that is cloud architecture. So after the recent digital transformations, this is one of the good topic, because more people are working. It may be academic community as well as the research community, based on the, especially many of the entrepreneurs. So with the initiation of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, like Made in India, Make in India, many of the young entrepreneurs, they are starting their startups. So they all definitely require the various services provided by the cloud computing, like it may be infrastructure, platform, or software. One should know the complete details about the cloud computing and cloud architectures, especially the current topic is a very trendy topic, cloud architecture. So I ensure that definitely this 5-day workshop, this 5-day faculty development program will provide the complete insights into all the participants, like academic peers, industry people, researchers, and some of the scholars and PG students also joined as a participants. So definitely, I encourage all the participants to participate actively with sincerely. So definitely, it will be a fruitful outcome to all of us. Once again, I thank all the participants for joining in this workshop, and the organizers from both ExcelR and other associated institutions. And I thank the complete support by the ExcelR, Ms. Pravalika and other ExcelR team. So once again, thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Definitely, we will look into the possibilities of offline internships also in due course. Currently, we have just initiated this over the last 1 year, and we are trying to build up our capacities according to that. And most challenging is that the kind of scale that we operate, and if we really want to need to work in that kind of a scale, offline becomes primarily a handicap when we try to bring in the right industry resource to be available for the right kind of guidance. So those kind of challenges still, continues, and that creates the major handicap when we try to ensure the right kind of quality in the deliverable commitments that we have with the institutions and the students. But sure, saying so, we will definitely look into it and see what best can be possible in the coming days. Moving over, another guest from the institute, and with the institute where we have been having collaborations for quite a long time, Shantiram Engineering College, again from the state of Andhra Pradesh. I have Dr. M.V. Subramaniam, sir, who is the principal and professor of electronics and communication engineering at the college, and he has more than 3 decades of experience, authored 6 books and 169 plus publications, and holds 3 patents. He has secured funding for 7 research projects and is a member of IEEE, IIT, and other technical societies. He was awarded Best Principal by JNTU He also serves as a reviewer for reputed journals like Elsevier and ING, and being into the helm of the things with Shantiram Engineering College. I would request Dr. M.V. Subramaniam sir to please come on board and share your thoughts with, of course, definitely I would also like to know regarding your thoughts with reference to association with ExcelR as well. And of course, looking forward for your encouragement for the participating faculty members for this Cloud Architect program. Over to you, Dr. Subramaniam, sir. Dr. M.V. Subramaniam, sir, am I audible? Team, can you check out whether he is available? Otherwise, we will move on to the next speaker of the day.
No, sir. You can move to the
Okay,
other.
fine. We'll come back if he's right. Okay, so next, we have another participating institute, a very well-known institute from the state of Tamil Nadu. We have AVS College, Salem. Unfortunately, again, the principal sir is busy with certain, important academic engagement. So we have Ms. M. Birntha, technical trainer, and comes with a rich experience of full stack development and web technologies, and skilled in building dynamic applications. And she represents the College of AVS College of Salem. So over to you, Nirantha ma'am, to share your thoughts with reference to AVS College initiatives and your thoughts regarding the faculty development program that we are kickstarting today. Over to you, Mrs. Ms. Virudha. Okay, so Pravalika, I think she is also probably not there. Can you just reconfirm? Then I'll move on
No, sir.
because,
She's there.
okay. Ma'am, are you facing any problem? Can you join? Okay. Meanwhile, if there are any technical aspects, we'll try to sort it out. Meanwhile, let's move on. As you have been all waiting for the session to start off, so the person with whom you will be spending your entire duration for the coming 10 hours. I would like to have a to make a quick introduction of him. That is Balachandra Bomidi. He's a subject matter expert. He is having more than a decade of experience on the specific domain of cloud. And although I know he will be speaking more in detail, he will take you through this entire 10 hours on the cloud architect as a topic, right? Starting from the scratch with reference to the cloud concepts, fundamentals to the advanced level, uh, also highlighting on the factors of the importance of security, compliance, and the best practices that are done in the industry. Apart from that, what probably he will bring in on the table for all of you are certain industry use case scenarios of cloud implementation that happens, which will give you a great insight on the practicality of the application of the cloud architect concepts. So he has been providing training for multiple MNCs and is currently a technical team lead and a corporate trainer and associated with ExcelR as well. So, Balachandra, I would specifically would like request you that in this particular phase, if you can take a couple of minutes and give the everybody quick insight about what they can expect, what they should mentally be prepared for the coming 10 hours, uh, what kind of outcomes they should expect, what kind of involvement they should be having, and so that everybody is motivated enough to understand that uh, you know this is I mean they even strengthen their initiative, their thought of being a part of this particular program. So over to you, Balachandra Bomidi, please.
Thank you, sir. So, my name is Bala, and I do have 12 plus of years of experience in IT industry, and I do have a experience in corporate and EDL programs, and have a long coordination and association with ExcelR as well. So thank you, Amit sir, so for introduction, and it was well explained. And good evening, everyone, all the faculty, the students, and the respective heads from ExcelR management and principals and high-level faculties from their respective colleges as well. So we are in a position here to have an understanding of the cloud architecture and discussion of cloud computing and the benefits. So the various advantages. So nowadays you might be hearing about the term. So since last few years about the cloud term. So the cloud computing is an adopted by every company, whether it's an MNC or a startup or mid-scale industries or the private companies. Many are trying to migrate towards it because of the cost cutting, lesser maintenance, and the increased capacity of the data with the help of servers maintained by the cloud providers. So in this whole 5 days cloud program, so I will be able to help you out understanding the basics, the need, the benefits. So why it is required to have a complete migration of the cloud? Why companies are trying to move, or the MNCs, the big companies, they are trying to completely depending on the cloud computing and the vendors. So how cloud is going to benefit us, and what are the different components and the advantages? So what are the different cloud vendors who are trying to provide various kind of services? So I'm just trying to help you out in understanding that for a full-time course structure, which is going to be beneficial for the students who will be trying to take a full-time course with ExcelR Associate. So I'll be the technical trainer, trying to make them understand from the basic scratch level, whether it can be in complete IT people or the non-IT. So with my practical experience and the understanding, I'll be trying to deliver the advantages and complete oversight the cloud computing to all the people from the basic level to high level as well. So I'll be able to help you out in terms of queries, trying to help you out in trying to have a lab sessions. So we'll be having trying to make that sessions interactive for all these 5 days. So I'll try to give you a time on your queries on a general on whatever the things that you can. I'll be able to help you out as well. We'll try to make the session interactive.
Sure. Thank you for that quick insight, Bala. I mean, we'll be coming back to you probably in another 5 minutes to kickstart the session. Before I say, I would again like to extend warm thanks note to all the eminent guest speakers from the collaborating institutions. And I hope all the participants will spend a great time of learning with Bala in the coming hours that we have at our disposal. Please feel free to be coming with an open mind of clarifying your doubts either online or post sessions through the chat helps or the other tools that would be available to you, clarified by with our support team that were out there. Before the start of, so on that note, we are bringing an end to the today's curtain raiser ceremony session, and also would again warm thanks to all the guests from the different eminent educational institutions. So before Balak kickstarts again the session, I would request team from our TDM to take out the couple of minutes and give everybody a quick walkthrough with one of the major pillars of support that would be there with them in this learning, that is the LMS. So please give them a quick knowledge transfer, a quick KT on the LMS team. Chandana or Amar, whoever is taking over, please take over and take the session through to the next step.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sure, I'll take it up.
Thank you.
So thank you for the wonderful introduction, sir. And yeah, good evening, dear faculty members. So today I am here to explain about LMS. Okay. So welcome to our faculty development program on cloud architect. Let me share my screen. So yeah. So I hope everyone register for this program. If not, I'm requesting Sushmita to share this registration link in the chat. So if not, if you missed out your registration, please register here. Okay. After registration, you will like within 24 hours, you will receive email, okay, regarding this program. So yes, so what is LMS? LMS is nothing but a learning management system. It's ExcelR's e-learning portal. In this portal, you will get recording sessions, materials, attendance, so all the things. Okay, I will explain everything detail. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So after registration, you will receive two mails. So one is a welcome to like verification mail, that is a welcome to ExcelR and verify your account. So here you can see the verification link. Just click on this link. It will take you to set your password page. So here you can see the password and confirm password. Here you have to create one password. So same password you have to confirm in this confirm password tab. After that, just click on this set my password. So successfully you completed, like you successfully setted your password. Okay. So after that, coming to a second mail, this is a course invitation mail. You can see this welcome to faculty development program on cloud architect. So in this, we have this once you set the password, your registered email ID and password to log in into dashboard. So here we have this link, that is the onlinelearning.excelr.com link. Just click on this link. It will take you to login page. Okay, here you can see the sign in, store and register. So we already registered, so no need to register again. In store, I will explain it about later. And sign in, just click on this sign in. It will take you to login page. So here we have email ID and mobile tab, and after the password. So don't use your email ID, sorry, mobile number here. So whichever register email ID you register here, so same email ID mentioned in the email tab. Okay. So after that, whichever password you set it before, so same password you have to mention here. After click on this login. Okay. So yeah, after this login, it will take you to dashboard. So from here, I would like to show how LMS will work, so that you will get a clear idea about this. Just give me a second. I will reshare my screen. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you, Sushmita. So yeah, this is our LMS live dashboard. So you can see the classroom here. That is the faculty development program on cloud architect. Just click on this tab. It will take you to classroom. So here we have a curriculum tab. Under this we have many like sub tabs. That's a feedback response, agenda, and session recordings and materials. Okay, like day one attendance feedback form, like faculty development program on cloud architect. So the here you can see this form will active between 4:30 to 5:30. So in between this time you have to mark your attendance. And why feedback form is important? Because attendance is mandatory for the certificate. Okay, 60% attendance. So you have to mark this attendance daily. Okay, and it will open between only 4:30 to 5:30. Yes, and coming to agenda, we uploaded that agenda, like whatever we are discussing these 5 days. So that agenda you can see here. And after that, session recordings. So after completion of this day, so you will get the recording here in the session recordings. Day by day, it will upload it. Okay. So after that, materials. So whatever we are going to discuss in this sessions, so that PPTs or else PDFs, whatever. So those materials we are going to upload in this materials. Okay. So you can able to get access of these materials and recording sessions. So I told that I will explain the store also. So in the store we have many happened sessions. So just go through this, whatever you are interested in these programs, just go and enroll now and buy now. Okay. For this recording sessions, we are not providing certificate. Only live sessions we are going to provide certificate. Okay. And this is the way to access your LMS. So yes, I am done. If you have any queries, and you can let me know in the chat box, or else I will take this questions last 10 minutes. And like we have a two ways to join the session. One is a Zoom and another is YouTube. Okay, so exactly at 2:50 it will show your join button. Just click on this. You can join through Zoom. If you have any technical issue through Zoom, you can join through YouTube also. Just click on this banner. It will take you to live session. Okay. So yeah, this is the way to join the session. Yeah, I will take all the questions last 10 minutes. So thank you everyone for this opportunity. Bala, you can take over the session. Bala, are you there? Yeah. So ExcelR learning web link. Yeah, we'll share Amit here in the chat box. We'll share it again. So Deepa, we are not going to share a recording session every day, but just register here in this registration link. You will get LMS access. So in the LMS, you can see all the recordings. Okay. Feedback link will share by 4:30. Okay. We'll move to the session. It's already 1 hour late.
Yeah, Chandana, you want me to start
Yes, yes.
or anything that has to be clarified?
No, you can take up the session. I'll take questions last 10 minutes. Okay.
All right, that's fine. I'll just give you 10 minutes as well last. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So hello everyone. So I'm back. Let's try to have an introduction of the cloud computing before we move on. So that you will get a confidence and you can try to come up with the questions. I'll just give you a time. You can try to have any queries. You can try to ask in the chat as well. Okay. So as you have seen, you might have heard about the term called cloud, right? What is cloud? So first, before that, let's try to understand the the concept behind this. So why do we need a cloud usually? Okay. So earlier days, I mean, way back 2006 or 20 years back, there is no term called cloud. Okay. So what actually happens nowadays, if you are trying to see, we are trying to use the different applications, different websites, trying to have a softwares, correct? So even how these softwares and applications used to be developed, these used to be having supplied by the big companies, right? To have any website deployed or to have any application that should be deployed. So we need some kind of a infrastructure. Infrastructure is nothing but a servers or the devices or the storage, the networking, correct? So with the help of all these, a company is trying to build an infrastructure. Then we are trying to have a deployment of websites, softwares, applications and everything, correct? So who will try to supply these devices? Who will try to supply the devices? So usually we used to call them as a servers. The general computers which we use at our home, the laptops, okay, which it's not actually, that is going to be used for the development. So we are calling them as a servers. Like it's kind of a supercomputers, I can say, which is having high resources, high configuration, high CPU, high RAM, and high storage. All right. Now, who is to supply? Like there are big companies like IBM, Dell, HP. There are big companies who is to have these servers purchased, I mean, sell out to the companies or the individuals or the small scale industries, so that they used to have the usage and trying to install the applications and develop and trying to deploy the websites, whatever the requirement. So small companies, when they want to purchase these servers, with a high configuration, that is again the cost. It's not a cost effective solution, because for a simple website, they cannot try to have a purchase of high level. Yes, it's an infrastructure as a service. That means they need to purchase, like that means these companies used to supply infrastructure, like a server infrastructure, to the small companies, so the mid-scale companies or the small scale industries as well. Now that is not a right approach, because if an XYZ company, they want to host a website, okay, and the website required, minimum servers, and each server is holding a high level of high configuration of CPU, like 100 cores of CPU, and 600 GB of a RAM, and terabytes of a storage. Do you think every time a small scale industries that can trying to afford these many servers and trying to have investment and the capital investment on that? No, that's not a good option, correct? So what actually happens, trying to have these disadvantages, even in terms of cost, in terms of maintenance, in terms of security, in considering all these things. So what actually happening, the cloud vendors come into a picture. Okay, the cloud vendors came into picture. Who are these cloud vendors? Like if you might have heard about these famous big companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Oracle. We are calling Amazon as AWS service, web services. Okay, Microsoft, they have given trying to have this as Azure. Google, they are trying to come up with GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and IBM, Salesforce. We have third party like, smaller vendors, soft layer. So we are calling them, these companies, as a cloud vendors. Okay, who are these cloud vendors? Cloud vendors are the one who are trying to provide the cloud services to the customers or the users of the companies. So why we are trying to have this concept? Because as the companies who are trying to provide the infrastructure, they are trying, we have an issue in terms of maintenance, cost, reliability, and the performance, right? Now, these companies came into a market. What they have done, why can't we try to maintain this infrastructure? Okay, why can't we try to maintain this infrastructure? Why can't we try to deliver all the infrastructure services over internet? That's when the idea comes in to them. Okay, slowly, what actually happened? They try to maintain the data center. That means whatever the infrastructure, the big companies, they are trying to maintain, trying to supply the physical devices to the customers or the companies. Now these cloud vendors, what they've thought, let's try to maintain our own infrastructure. Okay, let's try to maintain our own infrastructure and then supply and deliver the services over the internet to the customers or the companies. Okay, that's when the idea comes into picture. So from that, all the cloud vendors come into a picture, and they are trying to maintain these data centers and infrastructure, trying to supply these services to the customers over the internet. So basically, what is an infrastructure? Infrastructure is nothing but it refers to the collection of hardware, software, and networks. Okay, hardware, software, and networks that maintain the operation and maintenance and delivery of IT managed services. Okay, so infrastructure is nothing but combination of all the devices, like a hardware, software. The hardware, in sense, it can be a server, it can be a database, it can be a storage, it can be a middleware, it can be anything, and it can be a softwares as well, like a software applications, and the network appliances as well. Okay, so all this setup that will be rather trying to have this infrastructure maintained by big companies. These cloud vendors are trying to maintain this infrastructure and trying to provide us the virtual access to those services based on our requirement. Let's try to see. You might be getting confusion on what are those services and how these cloud vendors are trying to help us in terms of reducing the cost, maintenance, and the efficiency. Let's try to see that. So in earlier days, what do we do? Even if you required any servers, or if you want to store the data storage, or maybe you want to store the files, or the videos or the applications, or whatever the structured and unstructured data, we completely used to dependent on the physical devices. For example, a hard disk. If you want to store the data in a hard disk, okay, what actually happens? It is having some limitation of this much of 4 TB of a data storage. I want to have my data inserted, and once your data is full, there is a lot of data you want to store. You might have a confusion where to store it, and your hard drive is running out of the space, right? Now, the only option is again, you need to purchase additional physical hard disk again, or the physical storage. That's a problem, correct? That means you cannot try to expand. It's a limitation on how much you have. You have to use that. Once you use it, that's enough. That's it. So what actually happening now? Everything is into virtual. That means you are trying to access all the data over the internet. How it is possible? The same situation. What do we see here? Accessing the data or trying to read the data, downloading the data. Rather using the physical devices, we are trying to completely depending on the internet. That means the cloud storage. You might have an example of a Gmail Google Drive. Okay, so you're trying to store the data inside the drive, and who is the trying to provide the service? The service being offered by the cloud vendor, that is nothing but a Google, correct? Google company is trying to provide a service called Google Drive. So it's a storage. Okay, that means they are trying to provide a storage service to you. Okay, now it is trying to provide, for example, 15 GB of a free storage, right? Now, whatever the data you're trying to store, that you can try to access over your mobile or the computers or the laptops from anywhere across the globe. So how it is possible? They are trying to provide the virtual storage over the cloud environment that is offered by the Google. So once 15 GB drive is full, you will get a notification that your complete drive is exhausted. You need to increase your storage. Purchase for additional high drive. Like for example, you need 100 GB of a storage, you need to pay this much of amount. If you need 200 GB of a storage for 3 months, you need to pay this much of amount for 1 year, correct? So that means you are trying to rent the storage here. So who is trying to rent that service to us? That is nothing but a Google company. Here you are not trying to maintain the physical device. Simply over the internet, you are using these services. You are using this service over the internet, that is storage services, that is offered by the Google Cloud vendor. Even if you see the Gmail application, okay, or else even if you see the Microsoft Outlook, okay, Microsoft Outlook, where you can try to use it for sending an email, trying to have applications. It can be kind of a service, like a software, right? Software application as a service. Here, storage as a service, right? And even in the Google, you have a Google App Engine where developers can trying to develop applications, like they can try to deploy applications as well. So those platforms are also being provided. We are calling that as a platform as service, right? So how these services being offered by the cloud vendors here? Okay, how this is possible? Let's try to look at the definition of the cloud computing. If you see here, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, which includes the virtual servers, the storage, the database, the networking, the software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet. That means we are trying to access all these services over the internet. Okay, we are not trying to dependent on the physical infrastructure anymore. We are trying to have an access to complete access over these services over the internet. That's when the term called the cloud comes into a picture. Okay, that's when the term called cloud comes into a picture. The cloud is something, the delivery of all these compute services, like including service. Even it can be a server that you can try to launch Windows Server, Linux Server, Macintosh, different distributions. Okay, wide variety of use cases in terms of storage, database, networking. So that means you can try to have an access to everything nowadays over the cloud. So that's why all the companies, rather trying to maintain the physical infrastructure, they are completely binded with dependence on the cloud infrastructure itself. Okay, so it is nothing but pay as you go service. We are calling them as pay as you go. What is pay as you go? So pay as you go is a principal based services provided by them. So that means how much resources you are using over the cloud. For that only you are trying to pay the amount. That means you will only have to pay for the service which you are using. If you are using for the service of the storage for 100 GB, you are trying to pay the amount. If you are trying to use the service for this software, then you need to pay that for software for particular duration. Okay, you're not trying to pay the amount, or you're not trying to pay for anything for the backend physical infrastructure. You're trying to pay only for the virtual resources of the services that's being offered over the internet. Okay, because the disadvantage of on-premise infrastructure, that means physical infrastructure, that the server is not used the company, you still has to pay it. As I told you an example, if I try to purchase a server, if I trying to maintain the server, there is no option. I cannot try to sell it. I still have to use it, right? I have to already spend that amount initially. I have to prepay. I have to purchase the servers. I have to maintain the infrastructure. That is kind of a problem. I don't want to do it. Okay. So cloud computing, it means storing and accessing the data and programs on remote servers. That means it is trying to storing and accessing the data and programs on remote server that are hosted on the internet instead of computer's hard drive or the physical local server. Okay, so cloud computing, it is referred to as the internet based computing. It is a technology where the resource is provided as a service through the internet to the user. The data is stored, can be files, images, or the documents, or any other storable document, anything that can be. So that you can try to access through anywhere across the world. Simply having a proper internet with some kind of a device, you can try to have an access to your data. You can try to have a storage, you can try to have a backup, a recovery, and delivery of the software on demand, development of a new applications and services, and streaming videos and audios, many more. All right. So cloud computing helps us in easily accessing the computing resources like a storage, processing over internet rather than the physical hardware. Okay. So as we have seen, it's completely based on the infrastructure. Okay. So cloud computing is depending on the remote network servers hosted on internet for storing, managing, and processing the data. Okay. So how it is possible? How it is possible that we are trying to access all these kind of a remote services over the internet? Because these companies are trying to maintain their physical infrastructure. We are calling that as data center. Okay, we are calling that as data center. Let's try to see. Before that, let's try to see how this is going to be helpful. As I've told, before cloud computing, if you want to host a website, if you want to develop an application, what is needed? You need to purchase a servers that needs to get an approval from that particular company heads. They need to get an approval and it has to go through a purchasing order, and they need to order. Once it get orders, so that has to be delivered within a time frame. Once it is delivered, all the servers has to be fixed and configured and maintained. So how these servers will be assembled? So there will be a skilled individuals like an IT people or infrastructure admins and the network admins, whom like a staff where we need to give salaries, right? We need to pay amounts and salaries to those staff who will be able to, responsibilities to maintain, monitor, and configure those servers. All right. Once it is done, your applications or the websites that get ready. So if the website usage is high, if due to its high traffic, if the website usage is more, what actually is needed? It might require more servers. the capacity of the minimum infrastructure might not be enough. In the future, if your website get popular, there is a need of high traffic, like so many people are trying to access this website, then we require more servers. Again, the process repeats. Again, I have to order, I need to get an approval from the management. It has to be delivered with, maybe it takes 1 month. And again, it has to go to the installation process. Again, the maintenance effort, I need to pay salaries. It's kind of a round robin process. For example, if there is a low traffic, that means the usage is low, you are into loss. For example, okay, low traffic means the website usage is low. You cannot try to sell off already purchased servers, right? You already purchased, you invested so much of amount on it. That's again the beside disadvantages, right? It's a biggest disadvantage. If you see here, if you consider the cost in the physical infrastructure, the setup is highly expensive. Okay, and the troubleshooting problems can also be tedious and may conflict with your business goals, right? So if a customer complains and there is an issue, then that troubleshooting is going to be a problematic situation because you are completely depending on the physical infrastructure and the physical staff. Since the traffic is varying, your servers will be completely idle most of the time. That means if you have more servers, if there is a less traffic, the usage of the people are less across the globe. You still need to maintain those servers. That's the biggest disadvantage. You still need to pay the amount and the salaries to the staff, correct? So that's not going to be a valid approach here. Okay. So that's a problem with the physical infrastructure. So how this origin of this cloud computing comes into a picture? So mainframe computing in 1950s and during internets, it came together. They try to start it, the business with the cloud vendors. And in early 2000s, the cloud computing has gained popularity, scalability and adaptability and cost effectiveness to be facilitated by the concepts on-demand internet-based access to the compute resources. Okay, so nowadays these latest trend into the current market, the cloud computing is driving a wide range of services across markets, the global market, and transforming the process, storage and retrieval of data and accessing the various applications. Okay, so how it is possible? How it is possible? Because these companies are trying to supply services to us. What kind of a services? The network services, storage services, compute services, database services, intelligence, and softwares, right? Everything over the internet. How it is possible? How it is possible? Because there is a concept of data centers, right? What is a data center? A data center, it's a physical location that stores the compute machines and their relevant hardware equipment. It contains the computing infrastructure that IT systems required, such as servers, data storage types, and the network equipment. So it is kind of a physical facility that stores any company's digital data. Okay. So actually, if you see, I'll just show you how these cloud vendors are trying to maintain these data centers here. If you see, these are the data center, how it looks like, which are maintained by these cloud vendors. Okay. So you can see a data center looks like in a remote area, like, big acres of land or the space. They used to deploy these data centers. They used to deploy these data centers. Okay. So for example, what are the aspects that will be included in these data centers? If you see, we have a racks. If you see the big blocks, these are the big blocks, right? We are calling these rectangular shaped blocks are nothing but a racks. All right. Inside these racks, there will be a different devices which are placed, like we are calling them as a servers, network devices, security devices. All right. So what are the requirements? Like, main requirements to maintain these server setup and everything. For example, to maintain these data centers or the infrastructure, mainly we need space. Usually these cloud vendors used to purchase or rent, lease acres of lands to deploy these data centers. Okay, itself you can see this, the blocks where this data center looks like. It's kind of a remote areas, across the globe. The big vendors like a cloud vendors like Amazon, Microsoft, the Google, these vendors, they try to maintain these data centers to have the installation of all the servers, network, and everything over there. So they'll try to have a purchase or rent or acres of land or a space, and then they'll try to deploy the setup. Okay. So what are the included aspects that if you see inside these data centers, we require, it requires electricity, right? Electricity and network connectivity, physical security, and cooling systems. If you see here, we have a cooling systems inside these data centers to maintain the optimal temperature for these servers or the devices, so that these servers doesn't get hanged or crashed or gets rebooted. Because due to continuous operations of these servers, what actually happen, the servers might get heated, right? Even at your homes, if you have your system operated for longer hours with an additional high level configurations of applications, what happened, your servers get tend to heat it up, right? We have a, you can see underground and top ceiling ACs. Okay, ceiling and underground ACs, we are calling them, to maintain the optimal cooling temperature of these devices, automatic cooling systems. What else we have? We need a manpower. You can see there are skilled individuals inside these data centers who are trying to operate and trying to maintain, right? So these are the people who will try to maintain these data centers, who will try to operate if there are issues arises. They will try to make sure it is trying to get operated, and they'll try to fix any troubleshooting issues. Okay. And then the other aspect being end of life. That means these devices have some, it will get continuously operated. At some particular time, these devices needs to be get replaced or have to be troubleshooted, right? We are calling as replace of drives. We are calling that as EOLs. That means every device, it might have some particular expiration date that has to be, perform less compared to actually what's the new device that is to perform. Like at some particular time, it may be after years, these devices has to be replaced, correct? So do you think a normal company or the small scale industries will be able to afford these kind of requirements to maintain, trying to have a purchase or rent or lease or acres of a space, and trying to have a burden of trying to take installation, maintenance, and trying to have a salaries given to the staff and the manpower? That's not an easy task. Okay. So these cloud vendors are trying to maintain all these data center aspects in terms of requirements and trying to maintain them. And then we are trying to access them, all these services over internet. So how it is possible? With the help of concept of virtualization. With the concept of virtualization, they are trying to provide virtualized, access to all these devices over the internet. Okay. So there is no concept of cloud providers getting exhausted, because they do have a backup technologies. They do have a data centers across different locations. Even if, for example, if there is one location, there is an issue with some kind of a device or a storage or the service, you will have a backup availability into a different availability zones and the regions across different locations. That means you are simply accessing the data across the internet. So you doesn't know where the request is coming from, where the services are getting operated, correct? So cloud is trying to ensure 99.9% of availability and the durability, even in terms of disaster recoveries, or in terms of any atmospheric conditions, or in terms of any disaster that are actually happens, maybe due to some kind of a, we cannot guarantee, right? Atmospheric conditions, or due to cyclones, or due to any situations. The cloud is trying to maintain the disaster recovery techniques. That means whatever the data that you had in one location, if there is an issue, you will try to have a quick backup and the services that is being offered by other locations. So that is trying to maintain that for sure. Okay. Even for the existing customers or the new customer, the data backup facilities and the disaster recovery, options that is being offered to the customers. Okay, because the cloud vendor is not always dependent on specific location. They are trying to have the deployment of a data centers into a different locations. Any doubt on this? So even for example, the cloud computer is when you want to have a storage that you want to have a deployment within the cloud. Okay. At some point, maybe for 2 months, you have a fixed storage. And after that, you want to increase the storage. That can be done within seconds. You can try to increase the storage, vastly based on your requirement in terms of the scalability. The concept is nothing but a scalability. So we are calling that concept as a cloud disaster recovery can scale up and down to meet the business requirements and the needs. All right. So as we have discussed, these are the requirements that is not possible for a small scale industries or a private organizations or the clients that to maintain these data centers. That's when the concept of the cloud comes into a picture. Correct. So unlimited storage in sense, it can trying to have a backup. For example, there is no other company that is trying to provide need of a unlimited storage, because what does it mean by the unlimited storage? Because you don't need to pay the amount for the fixed storage initial phase, because you are trying to tell that at this point, if the storage can increase, will you be able to provide this much of a storage? The cloud is trying to provide you as much of a storage as need, because the payment is trying to have a pay as you go service. Okay. So they will be able to trying to guarantee that how much storage you want to expand, scale in. That's when we will be trying to provide you. You can try to use it, whatever the amount of storage that you need over the cloud. And at some point after 6 months, if your storage that you're trying to use that is not required, you can try to scale down as well. That means you don't need to pay for the unlimited storage, whatever you are trying to use for the before 6 months. If the storage is reduced by 50%, your cost is also getting reduced by 50%. Yes, they do provide the storage, whatever the need, even for the new customers. Definitely they are trying to provide you. Yes, even for the new customers, they are trying to provide the unlimited storage. They have a different storage mechanisms, encryption options, and petabytes of a data that can be transferred and downloaded and accessed over the internet. Even there are different types of devices like a snowball service. What actually happening? All the data that you cannot try to have a transferred from your on-premise to cloud. There is a concept of a snowball where the devices are shipped from cloud vendor like an AWS. They are trying to ship back to the customer location. The customer will try to have that data uploaded to that. Like it can try to handle up to petabytes of a data inside. And then the data hard disk can be shifted to the cloud data center. There are different types of options being provided. Any other doubts or understanding till now? So let's try to see what is a how you might have a doubt, right? How these cloud vendors are trying to maintain these physical devices, and how are we trying to access them remotely? How it is possible? That will be done with the help of concept of virtualization. You might have heard about this term, right? Virtualization is a concept. It's a software technology that helps in logical isolation of physical resources. Okay, logical isolation of physical resources. That means it is trying to create a logical isolation of physical resources such as RAM, CPU, storage over the cloud. Okay, and then we are trying to access these services like a physical access, whatever the physical access that we do have, we are trying to have an exact physical access virtually over the internet with the help of a concept of virtualization. Okay, so we can create different types of virtual instances with the help of concept of virtualization in cloud computing. We can create different types of virtual instances of computing, physical computing resources over the cloud. Okay, this virtualization concept provides a better management and utilization of physical hardware devices or the resources with a logical isolation, making the applications and services available to the users across the internet. So in that way, this virtualization concept, it facilitates the streaming line of the resource allocation and enhancing the scalability of multiple virtual computers within a single physical source that is going to offer a cost-effective and better optimization of resources. Okay, so if I say, for example, I'll show you one thing, how this is getting to be done. Not in detail, like in, I'll just try to give an overview of virtualization. That's complete deep level subject. So I'll just give an overview. So virtualization here, for example, this is a physical data center. Okay, it's a physical data center where we have a physical servers. Okay, now what actually happening? This is completely this complete box. This complete module itself is a physical server. Now with the help of virtualization, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to have a virtualization concept where this virtualization, it will try to divide the main host server into multiple guest operating system. Main host server, this is a main physical host server which is having a high level of CPU. It is having a high level of a configuration. For example, this is having 100 cores of CPU. This server, at least one server I'm trying to talk about, this is having a 200 GB of a RAM. Okay, if I have to have an access to this server, do you think a small website, like a small need of a deployment of website, I need 100 cores of a CPU or 200 GB of RAM of a physical server directly from data center? No, that's not a good point, right? So what actually we are doing, the concept of virtualization, we do have a concept of a software called hypervisor. With the help of that, this main server, it's being logically divided into a guest operating system. Okay, it is logically divided with a guest host. With the help of a guest host, we are trying to divide that. Whenever a user is requested, I want to launch a Windows server. Okay, I want to launch a Windows server. I'm selecting, I need a 5 cores of CPU. I need 5 GB of a RAM. I need Windows server. Then it will try to get a request from here. It will try to create a server for us. Out of this 100 core CPU and 200 GB RAM, it is trying to create a 5 core CPU and 5 GB of a RAM. It is trying to launch a Windows server for me. And the next user over the cloud, he want to launch one more server. That is, for example, Linux server. Okay, again 5 core CPU I've selected. I need a 5 GB of RAM and this much of a storage. Again, a new server is getting launched from the same host server. For example, Linux server is getting launched. In the same way, I can try to launch a Macintosh. I need to launch a Red Hat, Debian, different types of virtual servers from the physical host server. That concept is, division that is done with the help of a virtualization technology, with the help of a hypervisor software. Okay, so what actually it is trying to do? It is trying to help us in providing the logical isolation of physical host server. Okay, it is trying to create a logical isolation of physical resources such as CPU, RAM, and storage over the cloud, which is nothing but a virtual technology. Make sense? Virtualization concept is nothing but it's a software technology that helps in providing the logical isolation of physical resources and creating logical isolation that is nothing but RAM, CPU and storage and additional resources over the cloud, which is known as a virtualization concept in cloud computing. With the help of this, that's why I can able to quickly launch a server over the internet. I can try to quickly access a storage over the cloud internet. I can strictly access a software over the cloud internet. How this is possible? Because we are trying to access all these services over the internet remotely. Directly that access is being forwarded from the data center. These data centers are actually maintained by these cloud vendors. Does it make sense? Any doubts on understanding this? Okay, so this data center is nothing but it's a physical location infrastructures which are maintained by these cloud vendors, which are nothing but softwares. Either it can be a server, storage, networking, cabling, the networking aspects, securities, backup power, cooling, environment monitoring, all these aspects which will be completely deployed inside these data centers in a remote locations. Okay, so the complete responsibility if something is bad, even in terms of someone have a question, if they will be able to offer as an unlimited storage, yes they can offer. And will they be able to maintain all this infrastructure with no issues? Yes, they have a disaster recovery plans. That's why the cloud vendors are confident enough saying that they are trying to give us an option of 99.9% of service availability and the durability as well. Even the data being exhausted, the servers have a backup technology because the cloud vendors are trying to maintain multiple data centers, right, across different locations. We can trying to use n number of a storage across these locations. You will have these services that will be offered by cloud. Okay, so we will try to discuss more on these concepts as well in the in the coming sessions. In the meanwhile, any doubts on this concept till here? Just understanding, like maybe I don't want to completely go in deep on first day itself. Just want to have any doubts or queries you can try to ask. I'll just clarify. Any doubts till here? Yeah, network means the physical devices are being actually managed in the cloud data centers, but we are trying to have an access over that. For example, even infrastructure as a service, that's a network model itself, right? Like we are trying to launch a different servers in a predefined network. We are able to configure a load balancers. We are trying to configure firewalls inside the cloud environment, like blocking the access, like HTTP, SSH. These devices are the access that we can try to block. Okay, so we have a concept of virtual private network VPCs within the cloud environment where we can try to create subnets. We are trying to create and do a subnet logical divisions, the route tables, internet gateways, everything we are trying to do in a software as a service inside the cloud, console. But the backend operation that the request is going to the physical network devices inside the data center, the load balancers, the VPNs, and the auto scalings, all these things, right? We have a VPC concept that is nothing but a virtual private cloud. This kind of a concept VPC that is exactly behaving like how do we try to operate in the physical data center. VPC is trying to provide various network benefits. That means you will be able to configure yourself, like how many IP addresses I need, what kind of a security groups I have to configure, what are the firewall settings, everything I can try to do it virtually. So data centers are service oriented. In case of particular service is not supported, does it provided by the other data center? So data centers are not actually service oriented. the locations are actually service oriented. For example, the cloud vendors are trying to have their expansion across different parts of the globe, right? Not all services available in that particular location or the region, but if you want have the service, for example, in another location, you can switch back to other location and trying to have the usage, but there will be a slight delay in terms of latency and the usage. Okay, I'll show you that. For example, you can see this is a cloud console, right, for AWS. So I'm trying to use all the services within Oregon region. Okay, so in this Oregon region, I do have a 200 plus services from offered by AWS. There could be some services in one region that that might not be available, but you can quickly switch back to other location and trying to get usage of that services. Okay, it's not always mandated that you have to use that in that region itself. There could be a slight delay, but whatever the nearest data center or the region that is available, you can try to still avail those services which are available in other regions also. So, I mean, someone have a question, what algorithms in maintaining security purpose? They have an encryption concepts and different access control modules, identity and access management. So with that, they will try to have a high standards of security modules, and within their network, the encryption modules like a client side encryption and server level encryption, so that your data is always secure. Yes, the security measures are completely taken care by data center only, not by the users. Once the servers are getting launched and whom you try to give an access, that will be under your control. The infrastructure, the backend management, the security, and the disaster recovery, everything will be under the cloud control only. Yeah, someone is asking federation in cloud. So federation cloud means it's kind of a multiple, cloud vendors, like a third party cloud vendors. They are trying to use, share the equal resources. Okay. They are trying to share equal resources to form a single infrastructure of the environment. What if the server crashes? Will all the data will be lost? So first of all, if cloud is trying to take care of responsibility in supplying the infrastructure as a service or the platform, or there are different types of services, right? So they'll try to have a backup mechanism, and they will ensure if there is an option in terms of any issues that is coming arise, they will try to quickly revert back. They will try to quickly back up and trying to transfer and make it available for the next available good server. There is no option of crashing down until you try to install and make it in your own infrastructure. Okay, there is no way of trying to have a crashes or something. The cloud is trying to have a ensurety of service level agreement of 99.9%. So there is no issue for that. So tomorrow class will the top continuation of this cloud computing itself. We have a different modules that is going to cover on various aspects in terms of types of cloud, and the different types of services and the advantages and how AWS is going to be helpful and what kind of a service is being offered by AWS. We'll be trying to discuss tomorrow as well. Yes, I'll try to show you the practical examples on what I would try to do in these 5 days. So I'll try to, you can see this is a console how it looks like, correct? So within this console, I'll try to show you the basic understanding of the different services, the practical understanding of how these services getting operated in the cloud environment. So today's introduction, was it clarified to everyone? Was it understandable to everyone? You're able to get? Okay. Chandana, you there? You want to have anything?
Yeah, Baba. I'll take that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for the session. So faculty members, I'm sharing the attendance link again. Okay, if you didn't mark your attendance, please mark it. And any more questions, you can ask me in the chat box. And did you provide the recorded videos of classes? Yeah, Maheshwari, we have this LMS. Okay, so I will share the registration link. Please register here. Tomorrow you will receive a LMS access. So through LMS, you can watch the recording session. Okay.
Chandana, my voice is clear, right? Is it slow or it's fine?
No, it's fine.
Okay, someone is telling it's low. That's what, one person. Maybe
Yeah.
their issue.
Yes, it's good.
So thanks everyone. Then we can catch up tomorrow. So I can leave, right, Chandana?
Yes, you can. So I hope there is no more questions. If it is there, please let me know. Or else we'll wind up the session and we'll move on tomorrow. Okay. Rohini, we had to fill the form and no need to share. Like you have to just click on that link. It will ask some basic information about you. Just fill it. So that means you marked your attendance. Okay. So 60% attendance is mandatory for the certificate. Is my voice is clear now? Himabindu? I hope it is. Yeah, thank you. So yes, I will ask with that right now, that PPT, and I will upload in the LMS. Okay. Okay. I hope no more questions. So good to go. We'll wind up the session and we'll meet on tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you for joining. Bye bye. Take care.